Not even a hint of a slip-up from Manchester City as they began their title defence at home against Huddersfield Town, winning by 6-1, fresh from the victory over Arsenal last week. Pep Guardiola's team goes from strength to strength. Janusz is a hat-trick for Sergio Aguero. David Silva scoring on his 250th appearance. It's an amazing goal. 6 of them.
Appointment television, right? You have to watch it. I don't care what the end score, and maybe there's no competition like we saw against Huddersfield, but they've not missed a beat, no matter who's on the pitch, right? The blueprint doesn't change and is executed well 99% of the time. And, you know, it's great to trust your teammates, to understand how good they are, because it seems to me at times now, you know, when you're informed like that and you know that the player next to you is capable of pulling off almost anything, you almost look for these plays that are harder than they need to be because you trust them. You know how good they are. Normally, each team has maybe one, maybe 2 players that you know during hard times that, you know, they can pull a rabbit out of a hat, right? This team has what, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Even if they play badly, you always know that somebody's going to come good. Exceptional to watch.
And even in the week where they lost Kevin De Bruyne for 3 months, supposedly. Now, taking a look at that team, they had a great start last year. Obviously, besides the draw against Everton, going on that phenomenal winning run. Look at what they've got in front of them in the next 5 weeks before they have to come up against Liverpool. They are the only member of the so-called top 6, City, who do not have to play another member of the top 6 in those 5 matches.
Well, you look at that, and after 7 games, I mean, you know, this is one of the few teams that on paper can beat any of them, and you feel comfortable, right? We've seen Manchester United already. They've dropped points against that sort of team. But for Manchester City, you know, you often talk about, you know, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. That's not the case when you have a team like Manchester City. We saw it with Chelsea a couple of years ago in October when they had that run. You know, I looked at them last season and you say 100 points, 19 games unbeaten. And I'm saying to myself, impossible to replicate that. But I wonder. I think they could. But the bottom line, Ross, is that after those 7 games or maybe 10 games, they already may have a gap that at that stage will be saying, forget about it, that's over.
You think that would obviously help them in the Champions League, but it's a massive challenge for them to keep up this kind of quality throughout the whole of that challenge between Premier League and Champions League, even if they get a sizable lead in the Premier League.
Yeah, but look at the luxury this sort of run already, 2 games, affords Pep Guardiola in terms of rotations and getting players involved. You look at on the bench today, Mahrez, Sané, Otamendi, Sterling, Walker, Foden, right? I mean, so now you have 2 games, you look at the schedule and you say, we're capable of getting 3 points against the next 5 opponents, right? Simply. And you can rotate that. So comes Christmas time, comes January, February, where, remember, Manchester City struggled with injuries last season. I mean, they got it through, but, you know, this is almost perfect because Pep was forced to do that, right? Just because of the World Cup, he knew that some players needed time. So that luxury, if they run the table in the next 4 or 5 weeks, I think it benefits them, no?
It's looking very good for them, certainly, just after 2 games or so. But it's worth mentioning, 100 points last year against Huddersfield at home. They dropped 2. So they're already bettering what they did last year.